Got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
I'd still bet on that.
Yeah, that's funny.
How do they label them? Do they have names? Potential names?
Right.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this Tuesday, tax day, April 15th.
Oh,
Good morning, Rico.
good morning.
Good morning, Tucson. I hope you guys got all your affairs in order. The good news for those who got their taxes done, they don't have to worry about it. But I say the good news, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. The good news for people who did not get their taxes done is that I hear they're laying off a lot of people in the IRS. Maybe you'll slip through the cracks.
Play that chess game.
Yeah. Who's left at the IRS these days, huh?
Two guys. Veterans.
Yeah, and their desk, I just imagine overflowing papers stacked a mile high. Comb overs, coffee stains all over their shirt, dude. Like,
I'm getting too old for this.
Well, welcome to the show. We got a great show lined up for you here as we count down to the KFMA three-way that's happening this Friday. Rico, did you get Friday night off? Are you joining us at the Pima County Fair Friday night?
No.
Oh, you irresponsible son of a bitch. You're going to miss out on a good time.
You're going to live stream it for me at work, right?
Yeah, it's not the same. It's going to be a good time. But I will say this, Rico's not going to be able to make it, but the rest of the crew, we're going to be there and have a good time. Of course, Pop Evil, Sleep Theory, and Ashes to New all taking the stages at the Pima County Fair this Friday night. That's a free show with fair admission. We are giving away wristbands a little bit later on in the show. And then Friday morning, our good friend Sleep Theory are going to be back in the studio with us yet again.
Nice.
So, yeah, we're going to be hanging out with the boys Sleep Theory. This will be their second appearance on the show. Ahead of the time for the Pima County Fair. So we'll probably get another acoustic performance, catch up with them and what's been of a whirlwind of a past couple years since they've been in studio. And they were super nice guys the first time. It'll be interesting to see if they come in and they're like super rock stars at this point.
Wearing sunglasses.
Yeah. They're like, yeah,
no eye contact.
Pleasure for you to meet us again.
Right. This is cute. What are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
This is nice.
Right. So we got that going on. Maybe Pop Evil will pop in Friday morning as well. We might end up having a full-blown rager for the podcast broadcast Friday morning as we prepare for the three-way. All right. So let's get to the task at hand. Before I get into listener debate, it looks like the mystery of Gene Hackman and his wife has been solved.
Wait, there's more developments on this?
Well, yes, it kind of, here's the deal. And this story turned out to be more tragic than initially assumed. Okay. Now, first and foremost, nothing nefarious. This is just kind of like a life thing. Of course, we know that Gene Hackman was 95 years old. He had a 65-year-old wife. They were both found deceased at their property along with a dog. And initially, we were assuming carbon monoxide, right? This sounds like a carbon monoxide thing, but there were other dogs and animals on the property that were completely unscathed. Turned out the dog was kenneled and, ended up dying of starvation, which is sad. All right, so now it looks like after they did a thorough investigation, what they realized was their property, which was a sprawling property in New Mexico, had a bunch of rats on it. It was infested with rats that spread a deadly disease. Yes. And this is something that's like, you got to check your property. And if you're seeing dead rats around your disease, you're going to want to thoroughly clean it because there's a virus called the hantavirus, the HANTA virus, right? Have you heard of
It's one of those top
hantavirus?
5 terrifying ones you hear about. You're like, oh, the plague. Cool.
Yeah.
Stay away from that.
Pretty much. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is spread via droppings and urine. Now, when they went through his property, they found about 12 infested rat's nests with a bunch of dead rats all throughout the property.
Oh.
Yeah. And they said basically it was a breeding ground for this deadly virus. So what they concluded was that Gene Hackman's wife, Arakawa, passed away from hantavirus pulmonary syndrome around February 12th, which of course is a rare condition that's brought on by the hantavirus. And then Hackman died a few days later. Now, the reason why Hackman wasn't able to necessarily report on this is because he had severe Alzheimer's. So they don't know if he even realized that his wife passed away, or in an even more heartbreaking scenario, he would find his passed away wife. He would mourn her. He would go to the phone to call for help. And then once he gets to the phone, forget why he got to the phone.
It was that bad.
Yes. His Alzheimer's was, he was 95 years old. He was also dealing with, kidney disease. And so he was, knocking on death's door. So he, for 3 days, wasn't taking his medication, was wandering around the house, didn't know what was going on until he inevitably passed away as well.
What a nightmare.
I know.
Jeez.
I know. It's sad. And, if anything, though, if you want to look at a silver lining, and I always want to look at silver linings on this, they did have a beautiful relationship. They, he fortunately didn't feel that pain or know that pain that well of her passing away. And they were just, it was just the end for both of them.
Yeah.
I know.
He said no conspiracy, but did he turn down like a Disney deal or something like that?
No conspiracy.
They try to send a message with mice?
No conspiracy, no Disney deal, no disrespect. It was just one of those scenarios where, as they were elderly, they didn't take care of their property. They had a sprawling property, and the rats overtook it, and the hantavirus, man. And that's
what an investigative sort of like, I don't know, interesting turn of events, though, because it's kind of gone through a roller coaster of different theories and like how they landed on this finally. Was it just like a toxicology report on her? They're like, oh, this is definitely hantavirus.
It was a thorough investigation. And yes, that was her autopsy report that concluded that she died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. So again, that's the worst part of the internet is the multiple uninformed conspiracy theories that immediately come out. But the reality is, when you look at the surface, you're like, this is a 95-year-old man with severe Alzheimer's, and then his wife passed away. And of course, since there is a Hollywood legacy to Gene Hackman, and we've been so desensitized in Hollywood type of crimes and like horrible people, our first assumption is like, he killed her, murder, suicide. But that was not the case.
We got Netflix Titus.
Yes, exactly. It is not the case. It was something more natural than that. Still unfortunate nonetheless. But the mystery of Gene Hackman and his wife and their passing away has reportedly been solved. So, all right, now let's get to listener bait today. We have our wristbands that we're giving away for the Pima County Fair. Of course, wristband night's going to be next Wednesday night, not tomorrow, but next Wednesday, the 25th. And so we'll be giving away wristbands around 7 o'clock. Plus, it's a Tap Out Tuesday. We have up to $100 of gift certificates for Rocco's Little Chicago Pizza. Very excited about that. We also have tickets for the Centurions party. I believe those are VIP. And on top of all that, you could also text to win tickets for Powerman 5000. In fact, text the word power to 600 KFMA right now for your opportunity to win those tickets so we can get that out of the way. Let's get the show moving. You got your morning moron coming up after music for Falling in Reverse, kicking things off with the Smashing Pumpkins. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show. Let's go. I forgot the let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
And yes, sorry, my mispronunciation of Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
I say Alzheimer's like they're like, in the Hall of Fame or something. But it's a difficult word to pronunciate for me.
I don't know why it reminds me of like the misnomer. I think one of the funniest ones was when I was working at a restaurant up in Phoenix. You know how when you're a server and you have to write down like customer allergies, you have to make a note of it that goes to the ticket that pops out the other side.
Yeah.
So one girl, I think one time they came across a customer that had, lactose intolerance. So she wrote lactose intolerant.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back, Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on a podcast broadcast. I think I've seen receipt fails like that. Rico was talking about a coworker who, instead of writing lactose intolerant as far as a special instruction on the order for dinner, it said
lactose and tolerant.
Lactose intolerant.
Like, oh, cool.
Good. Yeah, put up with this.
What a tolerant person.
Pour milk from the rooftop. You just open up your mouth. All right, we are live on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. It's Rico, Maria, and myself. And Maria has a game that she wants to play with us, right?
I do.
All right, so what is it?
Are you ready?
Well, no, just give me tell us.
Well, I'm reading this book, right? It is called Stiff, The Curious Lives of human cadavers.
Oh.
Yeah, and so this is a morbid true or false question for you guys.
All right. So based off the book that Mari's reading, Stiff, we're going to do a little true or false and see how well we know our stiff cadavers right after we play new music from Papa Roach. Appropriately enough, Even If It Kills Me is the name of the song. Yes. You can join us as we keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. Clear. Yeah, so that'll be fun. And you guys can play along as well. See how much you guys know.
Well, this one's not about cadavers. I could make one about cadavers.
No, you don't have to.
I could.
I know, but you don't have to.
This one's about like things that they used to like prescribe for things from human cadavers.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's good to know too.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Intrigued.
Yes.
I have this picture that I'm trying to save and just pull up about this cat Lilo for our video good to start off the day. It's difficult to see if I could pull this up though, because I don't think the links are that trustworthy. Basically this cat, like it's a tuxedo cat that opens, like shares, like wakes up their owner like every single morning by terrifying the hell out of them because just the look that they're giving the face to. So yeah, I think I might be able to pull this up. All right. This is from cattime.com. Hopefully I don't get a virus on my computer from pulling this up. I'm like, no way that's an actual website.
It's a virus that goes meow, 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 meow on your computer all day long.
Yeah. This is Lilo right here. Right.
Cute.
So yeah, of course you would say that.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So here's the video in question. and this poor owner has to deal with this every day.
Oh my god.
That's it.
Every day.
Every single day.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Who needs a rooster? Who needs an alarm clock? You just got Lilo just right there.
I love Lilo.
Up. Hold on. Watch it.
Cutie.
It's very assertive.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. So, all right. Well,
I thought you were going to do 365 of those to prove it.
No.
Oh.
What I do want you to do though is the remix of Cynthia and the copacetic. It's copacetic, bitch. Well, you know, Cynthia, our Tucson, TMC Tucson Toxic 10.
She's nice.
Our famous favorite person.
Nice, yes. But yesterday or the other day, she drove through another garage door.
No, she did.
Back at
And she
it.
filmed herself again. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because she got mad at her boyfriend, obviously. Was there a real good reason for it? Not necessarily. I'll just remind you. I know I showed you guys yesterday, but I want to show Rico and Mari real quick. Here's
Try,
the
bro.
video.
I fucking
Oh, that's not it.
try, bro.
There she is, driving through.
I
Daytime.
fucking tried, though. I fucking told you I fucking tried, bitch. Don't fucking say I didn't fucking try, bitch. I fucking tried.
Look at that.
Same one?
So, no, it was the new one. You know, she drove into the last
new
one.
garage.
She drove into the last one. She drove out of this one.
Oh.
But then she got like an amazing soundbite later on when that's her spoiler right there, actually, from her car. So yeah, that came off. The whole thing was a hot mess, but she did give a soundbite. I'll share with you a little bit later because I want Rico to remix it. It would be fantastic. Rock 102.1 KF man, welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. So we are live here on the podcast broadcast, and Mari has a game because she's been reading this book called Stiff, which is not as hot as I thought it would
I was
be.
excited.
Yeah. I was just like, these women in their erotic novels, am I right?
50 Shades of Grey is back, baby.
But no, she's a normal woman who likes to read about dead bodies and stuff. So that's what
Typical.
Stiff's about, right? Cadavers?
Yeah.
Okay, and this inspired you to come up with a bunch of true or false questions. Are they cadaver themed or?
Yeah, so this is a true or false about things that were prescribed to other people from human cadavers.
Okay,
Right?
so based off research from dead bodies,
Yeah, from the past.
we were able to get this modern medicine, or it was medicine in the past that maybe outstayed its welcome.
Exactly.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
find out.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Okay, so true or false?
Mhm.
Tartar of human teeth for snake bites.
Tartar of human teeth. So basically, they scrape the tar from teeth.
I think it's tartar, maybe like a
Tartar.
ground up like tooth. I don't know
Ew.
exactly. but-
Enamel.
Okay, so back in the day, you're saying doctors would prescribe tooth tartar if you got bitten by a snake.
Yeah, true or false?
And tartar is like raw grossness. I mean, I do like tuna tartar.
Beef tartar.
Yeah, I've had that.
Right.
And it's actually pretty good, even though you're like, this is raw meat, dude. This is crazy. I'm going to say true.
False. It was for a wasp bite.
Oh, I was kind of
true.
And you know what? A wasp bite? Come on, man up. I've like spent a whole summer like coveting wasp stings because the rush it would give me. I'm telling you, I'll bottle that stuff.
Hell yeah, the
Wasp
adrenaline.
energy, dude, all day long.
I just need to see the trial and error of these doctors back in the day. Just like, this guy has a wasp sting. Have you tried the teeth yet?
Yeah,
pull the teeth and grind it.
Oh, Manny said false. He got that correct. Clarissa on the stream said true, so she's wrong with me. All right, well, what's your next one?
All right, tincture of human navel for sore throat.
Rico, you get
I would
this
say
one.
true.
A tincture. What's a tincture?
Like you put a human navel like in a little bottle, like of liquid, right?
Okay,
And you make
yeah.
a tincture.
Okay, for a sore throat.
Yeah,
Gargle on that. That's gross. I'm gonna say false.
it's true.
Ha! Damn it. Gross too. So I mean, honestly, you're just like you take this little flesh, you put it in some water, you gargle that, and that's gonna help your sore throat.
I guess.
I got to try it.
Yeah. And some belly buttons smell disgusting.
Was it innie or outie though? Had to be an
knows?
outie, right?
Probably.
Just pop it off.
Yeah. Let's hope it's an outie. Okay, continue.
All right, spirit of skull to cure headache.
Spirit of skull.
Spirit.
So it's like ground up skull bone.
Oh, I'm gonna say true.
False.
Yes, false, because it would cure epilepsy.
Oh, see,
Silly beef. Come on, dude. You
I'm
didn't pay attention in school.
0 for 3. No, you know I didn't.
Talk about skull tinctures all the time, dude.
Okay, well, I skipped that class. All right, what else?
Did you go to Hogwarts?
Women spit for eye inflammation.
Oh, well, I
Been
know.
there, done that.
Yeah. I was like, I know that works. Spit in my eye. Oh, you just cured my cataracts.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And my, what is it? All right. I'm going to say true.
You're right.
Yeah,
Yay!
I
Ding,
got
ding,
it.
ding.
See, the
Boom.
power of women spit,
in my
dude.
eye.
Yeah, for
powerful.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Cue this pink eye, babe.
Mhm.
A pint of urine from a public latrine for diabetes.
Oh, you got diabetes? Drink this pee, bro.
That sounds like last St. Patty's Day.
Even worse, dude. That is terrible. I'm going to say false just because I hope it's false.
I'm going to say the same thing.
Okay, so you guys are right. It is false.
Yes.
But it's a capful, not a pint.
A capful?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean,
you can do that?
I can do that.
you know, there's a lot of like urban myths about urine and the benefits of urine because like I think one of the myths which I'm kind of on the fence for is urinating in the shower cures athlete's feet, right?
Really?
Yeah. Now I back in the day I heard this was true, so I started that habit, and then I found out that it's not necessarily true. But I didn't stop the habit. You know what I mean? I feel like could still be kind of true. I don't have athlete's foot, and I continue to do what I do.
Who's to say?
Science. Yeah.
Next time you get stung by a jellyfish, I got you, bro.
Well, I think that might be. I guess that is somewhat true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it's not true.
Yeah.
Well, let's go try it out in San Diego.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm gonna pinch you and then see if, and that's gonna
Pee on it.
emulate the jellyfish sting, and then Rico's gonna do what he has to do,
Right.
and see if that works.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a capful for you.
All right, we got a couple more. Let's do one more on the air, and then we'll continue these on the podcast broadcast.
Okay. A bathtub of blood cured leprosy.
Depends on the
Whoa.
blood,
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say false.
I'm going to say false, too.
It's true.
No.
I'm pretty sure vaccines
Leprosy?
cured leprosy, right?
I have no idea, but
All right.
I don't think a bathtub of blood.
This is before modern science.
This is written by Big Vampire. I don't like this.
These are very interesting little tidbits that Mari put together. We're going to continue these on the podcast broadcast. You can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. But we got music on the way from Linkin Park and Nirvana. And coming up next, Silicon Valley crosswalk speakers got hacked. And what they did to hack these crosswalk speakers is hilarious. I'm going to share that with you after music from Nirvana on Rock 102.1. Clear. All right.
Nirvana's new
have
track,
2
Bathtub
more.
Full of Blood.
Yeah, that is a very metal name.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah, in fact, actually, I'll look that up. I'm pretty sure that's already a metal
Gotta
song.
be. It's probably Norway or something.
Mhm.
Okay, you ready for 2 more? And then I'm done?
Yes, 2 more than you're done.
All right, bile in the ear to cure deafness.
Say it again. The first one.
Bile.
Oh,
Bile, which is like throw up,
B-I-L-E.
right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
stomach acid.
Well, you know what though? I thought it was going deaf in my right ear for a long time, and it was just that my ear was clogged for a couple years.
Yeah,
and
my
it's
brother
kind
had
of,
that.
Yeah, it's kind of unclogging now, which is great.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm cured of my deafness, and I'm like, oh no,
I wasted all
actually,
this bile. Damn it.
I could see why they would say, yes, get that acid to get in there to break up all the earwax, as gross as it may be. Like Jeff Goldblum from The Fly going, "Ugh."
Oh, God.
I'm going to say true.
You are correct.
Well played.
Check out the big brain on beef.
played.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, last but not least, human toenail to produce diarrhea.
To give you diarrhea?
I say false because a human toenail produces nausea and vomit.
Wow, you're getting good at this.
Yeah.
You're getting really good at that. 'Cause
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
false because it's actually to produce vomiting.
Yeah, because you eat a human toenail, you're going to throw the fuck up. It's gross, dude.
I know, isn't it gnarly?
Yeah, dude.
I
Call
like
me,
your method of switching it up though from different
Do
things.
you like it?
Just
You like it? I thought it was
Not
pretty tricky.
diarrhea.
I'm tricky.
Vomiting.
call me Dr. Beef, bro. All right.
I've been called you Dr. Beef.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Earlier this morning, we did our morning moron and we talked about sperm racing. Those are 2 different things, but they're
A
amazing.
lot of bodily fluids today.
Yeah. We won't get to the sperm racing because we do have a Rico's 5-star review as well. But let's do the morning moron into Rico's 5-star review and be back with the Silicon Valley hack story right after this. Babe, that is Falling in Reverse. Welcome back to the show. It's now 6:16 and time for your morning moron. Let's do this. All right, this story is for anybody out there who thought to themselves, you know what would be cool if I got really high at Disneyland or Disney World, right? If I'm tripping balls, if I'm hallucinating, any kind of vice. Let me give you an example as to why that might not be as cool as you think. Because things can go wrong, Rico. There was a man who found this out the hard way. Now, do you know Mardi Gras was last month in New Orleans, right? But they still continue to have like Mardi Gras celebrations in Disneyland and Anaheim all the time.
Right.
Okay, so they have a whole section for that. A 38-year-old man was celebrating Mardi Gras in that section on Saturday night when he got fully naked in Disneyland. Now, if you're talking, if indecent exposure is a felony per eyes that have seen you naked, with all the amount of people and kids there,
Kids, yeah.
you're talking like 10,000 felonies stacked up at once. It's bad.
You're screwed.
Yeah. Now he got up on the building. So this guy got naked, got on top of a building, started
Whoa.
running around the awning outside of Tiana's place, which is a restaurant that from the 2009 Princess of the Frog, right?
Right.
Shout out. And it's in a section of the park called New Orleans Square that's supposed to look like a French Quarter. So a bunch of parents and kids got the full Bourbon Street experience. It didn't even have to throw any beads. Now, someone on Reddit said the guy was also running around on side streets, climbed a tree at one point.
Oh boy.
And this
It's
is the most shocking part about this story, according to police. He was on drugs.
What? You don't say.
What?
No way.
Huh?
In what world?
Yeah, man, that's so crazy. A park security eventually corralled him. That's how high you are. It's pretty much like a rodeo. They got to surround you.
Lasso.
Yeah. And Anaheim police took over. They didn't give a name, but they say he's from Canada. Yeah.
All right, we win this one.
Yeah, thank God. Now he's facing charges for trespassing, public nudity, and being under the influence of narcotics, and being a Canadian in the happiest place on earth, Disneyland. Yeah, that's a super felony.
I mean,
these days.
I've had those New Orleans daiquiris. They do catch up too, but I've never had the inclination to get naked and run around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's some heavy
no.
drugs.
Yeah. Alcohol won't necessarily make you want to do that. It's a combination of factors and stuff. But yeah, so this man who had a bucket list idea to go down to Disneyland and trip his balls off and then shred his clothes off, well, that definitely backfired on him. And for all those reasons and more, this Canadian man's got to be today's Morning Moron.
Hey.
This has to offer, and when he has a pleasurable experience, he immediately rushes to Google to leave a 5-star review. And you did that again today, did you not, Rico?
Absolutely, my friend.
All right. Well, where did you go to?
Cheba Hut.
Cheba. I know why. Because today or this week is all things Cheba Hut week in a way, right?
How presumptuous and how on the money.
All right, tell me all about your experience at Cheba Hut, please.
I still can't believe it's April. We're knee deep into spring, and as the weather gets significantly warmer, a fully scorched summer is waiting on the sidelines, ready to make everyone in town more volatile and more secluded as we enter our air-conditioned caves and curse at the rising electric bills.
Facts.
On the plus side, the traffic clears up because the snowbirds have already perused all the 4th Avenue trinkets and took all the saguaro cactus selfies and bought up all the single-family homes in the area and are now headed back to the Midwest where they can alienate and frustrate people back home. Now, 2 big holidays happen in April. Well, 4 if you count April Fool's and National Burrito Day. And trust me, I do count those. But the other quote-unquote more significant ones are 420 and Easter Sunday. And not only did I just learn that this year they fall on the same day, but I remembered I used to smoke out with a guy who looked like Jesus.
Haven't we all?
I'm not sure if Jesus was a big fan of watching Pink Floyd's The Wall slowed down, or not really into cleaning his toilet bowl ever, or constructing a ferret playground out of Amazon Prime boxes. But if he was, then this year is even more special. It's a big week for the Holy Ones as we have Palm Sunday, which celebrates Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem. Holy Thursday, which commemorates the Last Supper Jesus had with his disciples. We have Good Friday, the day Jesus was crucified. And then we have 420 Sunday, where Jesus was resurrected, walked out of a hot-boxed cave holding a bunny rabbit, kept giggling to himself, and hid a bunch of chocolate eggs for everyone to find while playing reggae on his JBL speaker. 420 is special, and we should be thanking Jesus for telling everyone to chill out a little bit, love each other, and eat some rabbit-shaped Reese's. Okay, actually, I can't wait to be around a bunch of high people questioning why a dude in a giant bunny furry costume is representing the resurrection of Jesus, and then the one guy goes down the rabbit hole. See what I did there?
Yeah.
With old pagan traditions and ancient numerology and all that. And what would make that even better is to be listening to all that while eating something completely delicious, like a toasted sub sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
And the 1 year-long 420 safe space food haven in town that I've heard about was Cheba Hut.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to do some pre-holiday reconnaissance to feel the vibe. I pulled into the parking lot and immediately felt more mellow, like entering into a Stargate made of bong water. It took maybe 4 seconds to walk past a guy in baggy clothes jamming out to Legal Dub by Sublime on the hood of his Ford Fiesta while munching on some sort of ball-shaped dessert. I asked him what it was, and he slowly turned his head with smiling eyes and just belted out, "Goo ball."
Goo ball.
You want to bite, man?
He offered to share his goo ball?
He did.
Wow.
I was told never to take goo balls from strangers.
Yep.
Then he laughed a little too hard, and then his other hand extended what looked like a vape pen. I was told to always take a hit from strangers, though. And he just kept nodding his head to the music, and I indulged in more than a modest dose of mean synthetic green before walking inside, slightly happier, slightly more paranoid, and definitely more hungry. A spacious wooden aesthetic, a giant hanging joint above the counter, and a plethora of chilled dreadlock sandwich elves welcomed me as I floated through, licking my lips and staring at the menu for what could have been 2 or 25 minutes. My squinty eyes darted back and forth between the dank pizza sub and the Panama red chicken marinara, and then a few seconds later, they just began to stare at the wall art as I started to ask myself why cacti are shaped like that. Are they growing arms to mock us? Do they have lizard underground overlords trying to overtake us with the cactus army? But then I looked over to the dreadlock counter guy and asked him, "Hey man, what would Jesus order?" And he acted like it was the most profound question he's ever been asked. Finally, he said, "Yo, man, probably the Pacific Blue tuna melt, man." And then his coworker chimed in, "No way in hell, dude. He's probably going to be all about the Pacalolo." And then he goes, "That is pork, you daft idiot."
Yep. Yeah.
And then they kept debating back and forth. And just I started laughing and grabbed and paid for a goo ball while giggling to myself on the way out. I'm definitely coming back for 420. 5 stars.
If Jesus came back, he'd order like PB&J. The toasted PB&J is pretty good.
Good call.
Yeah. Something veganish, you know?
Right. Neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not going to do like the Hawaiian 5-0, which is 5 different types of pork. Well done. Yeah. Cheba Hut's 420 each and every year is just a huge event for them. I'm sure they're kind of bummed it lands on Easter, but I think they usually do 420 nugs and then a bunch of sponsors and goodies.
Yeah, just got to hide some eggs in there. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I've spent many a 420 at the Cheba Hut. Well, excellent job. Those 5-star reviews continue to get longer and longer, man. People are going to start getting
Novels.
concerned about your manifestos.
I know.
Well, if you Google Cheba Hut right there on 6 and you come across Rico's 5-star review, make sure you give him a 5-star review as well. We're going to hit the reset and be back with more after music from Lit on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, we are back here live. We got a bunch of stuff to get ready for. And so, all right, I do want to mention, yes, so yesterday was the first day doing the afternoon show on KWSS as well. And it was going to start at 2 because there's a big write-up and a lot of good feedback online. And people were excited about it. And then I had technical issues and I couldn't get on the air till like 3-ish. So
Great start.
Yeah, dude, which is exactly like how my first show on KWSS started as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, it's full circle for sure.
Poetic.
Yeah. But we're excited about it. Got the kinks all worked out, ready to go. But yeah, even just that one post that I did on Instagram has reached 21.8 thousand people.
My mom sent it to me.
And she's like, was she afraid that I was leaving? Because a lot of people just read the headline and didn't read the story involved.
Was she like, I never got to tell Beef how I feel?
I said, I'm excited for him. She's like, me too.
Oh, tell her I said hi.
I will.
Nice. All right. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. All right. This is, I'm going to share something with you that I find hilarious whenever somebody is trolling the billionaires of Silicon Valley. It's always a good time. So, hackers be hacking. And usually you see road signs hacked, right? With like cheeky messages and vulgarities. In Silicon Valley, there was some clever kids that were able to hack the crosswalk speakers. Like when you hit those speakers, it's for the deaf. They're the hearing impaired.
Right.
There's a little sound that comes out so you know where to follow the sound.
It makes that alien clicking sound.
Yeah, like a bird chirping or something like that. But in Palo Alto, when you hit those crosswalk buttons, you get different messages. Like this one. Let's check it out.
I guess that's true. God knows I've tried. But it can buy a Cybertruck, and that's pretty sick, right?
It's Elon Musk, right? So they hacked it to sound like Elon Musk. I'm going to scrub this back to the very beginning so you can hear this.
Wait. Hi, this is Elon Musk. Welcome to Palo Alto, the home of Tesla engineering. They say money can't buy happiness, and yeah, okay. I guess that's true. God knows I've tried. But it can buy a Cybertruck, and that's pretty sick, right? Right? Fuck, I'm so alone.
Yeah, I gotta hit the dump on that, but that's yeah. So there's
Amazing.
A couple of these messages. That one just slipped out. I wasn't even gonna play the second one on the air because it read, "Cancer is bad, but being a cancer is effing awesome," and that's Elon Musk again. But Elon Musk wasn't the only one they targeted. They also targeted Mark Zuckerberg. That's what this one is, I think. And again, I will potentially. Well, I actually, to be safe, I can't even play this yet until I know for sure that we are in the clear. I'm pausing it. I'm just waiting for my dump to reload, which if you hear us repeat ourselves, just know that these videos are that awesome, and that's why. So we're about to find out here in just a couple seconds.
Doing it live.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, a Redwood City official said that they were aware of the hack and are actively working to investigate and resolve it. As of right now, they cannot, and it is something
a lot
that
of copycats.
yeah, now everybody's using the crosswalks as well. The parent company for the audio-enabled crosswalks has yet to comment because they probably think it's pretty awesome as well.
Like finally somebody did this.
Yeah, and at the same time, they're talking about our company that nobody talks about the crosswalk speakers.
Nobody cares about that guy.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to wait around for the dump. So what we'll do is we'll play these without any censorship on youtube.com/beefvegan. We have more coming up right around the corner, including music from Alice in Chains and Evanescence. So you can keep it right here on Rock 102.1 or join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. Yep. All right. I'm ready for it. Are you
ready?
All right. Look at that. We got a full team here. Plus, we got pretty hands pressing this. So let's see what the pretty hands had to say.
Wait. Hi, this is Mark Zuckerberg, but real ones call me the Zuck. It's normal to feel uncomfortable or even violated as we forcefully insert AI into every facet of your conscious experience. And I just want to assure you, you don't need to worry because there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. Anyway, see ya.
Damn.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. All right, and then here was the final one that I knew for a fact I could not play.
Hi, this is Elon Musk, and I'd like to personally welcome you to Palo Alto. You know, people keep saying cancer is bad, but have you tried being a cancer? It's fucking awesome. Call me Elon Oma.
Damn.
People are loving it, dude. Yeah.
That's cheeky.
Yes, cheeky and fantastic. Yeah, so yeah, they did a great job on that. The hackers, that they start there, and we'll see if they could hack their way around the country, and it will give.
I feel it's going to probably take over a lot of cities now.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, the AI voiceover stuff so easy to do now. You know, in fact, actually, I know that the radio stations are implementing it all over the place.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, we are too. You know,
We are?
Yeah, we did. You know, this whole conversation has been AI. All I've been doing is just moving my mouth right now.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna just insert AI into that.
Do you think they will though?
They already have, Mara.
They already have. There's a radio
a
DJ
clone,
called
Mari.
AI Ashley that's based out of Portland, Oregon, that has been syndicated to a couple Alpha Media stations. Alpha Media continues to fire all of their on-air talent. Their stock and the money that they're bringing in continues to plummet as well, which is not coincidental. But yeah, the industry as a whole, radio DJs were furious at this girl for, you know, supplying the voice. Her name is really Ashley.
Oh.
And she is a midday DJ in Portland, Oregon. And she is laughing about it like, oh, you know, she's securing her job. But they're like, no, you just replaced yourself. Now, I've always said that, you know, the thing that's working for me in this world of AI is that I'm too dumb for AI to emulate. See, they wouldn't have said that.
They would not.
I don't know, but it is scary because we did, you know, put together some stuff from ChatGPT as far as the show sheet is concerned. And I realized that ChatGPT is listening to every single word of this conversation and every conversation that we have because I have it up on my computer because it was able to describe the show so well.
To a T.
Yeah.
And it's almost so terrifying because you know it's only going to get exponentially better every single day, every single week. You're waking up to new AI tech. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
This is crazy. Well, it's like the actor industry too. It's like the whole cloning of their likeness, their imaging, their voice. So it's like it's really undermining so many industries with very little regulation. It's like, where's this going to end?
Yeah, they got to figure out the regulation quick for sure, and people are freaking out for sure. We'll see what happens. But you know, I think we'll get to a point where, you know, we just get the luxury of just getting universal income, chilling, and becoming like the fat people in Wall-E.
And our scooters.
On my floating scooter.
Yeah.
Looks
All right,
comfy.
but you know, there is good technology. It's not all bad, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, actually, there might be a new sport that we all become fans of. Earlier this morning, Rico and I talked about it. It's called sperm racing. In case you missed it, went a little something like this. Check it out. And congratulations to Jason for picking up my first 4-pack of tickets for the Tucson Roadrunners. But good news, I do have another 4-pack of tickets that I will be giving away before the end of the show today. All right. Have you ever heard the expression that we all started off life as winners?
No, actually never. That sounds very optimistic.
Yeah, well, because we all won the great sperm race.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So we started off as winners, right? And it's funny that, you know, when you think about that, because now apparently the Sperm Racing League might become a thing.
No way.
Yes, the Sperm Racing League is coming and you could bet on it.
It's going to be on DraftKings?
Yeah, it might be.
Ooh.
It's the newest sport that you don't have on your bingo card, sperm racing. It's a startup in LA that's launching its first Sperm Racing League, and they claim it's not a joke. They even have like a promotional video and everything. Let me share this video with you real quick, so you can get an idea that I am legit when I'm talking about this.
Introducing Sperm Racing, the world's first microscopic racetrack.
April 25th. So you say get your tickets. Tickets drop April 11th. So next Wednesday will be the debut of Sperm Racing.
I have no words, dude.
Look,
This is peak society right here.
when it comes to gambling, and I mean this with all due respect, Rico, you're somewhat of a degenerate.
I
So
am a
are
degenerate.
you tempted to bet on
You
this?
already know the answer to that, dude. I just want to know the parameters here. Do we know like the look, the athleticism of the people, the guy?
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Do we get to look into that, or is it just like random?
You're gonna want to know. I know bookies are gonna want to know the genetics of said person. I would say this as an early. This is going to come off somewhat offensive to some. Okay,
here we go.
But as an early advantage, always bet on Brown. I'm just saying.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Don't at me.
Yeah,
you know you're thinking it.
Yeah.
But,
so this is how they did this. Okay. And this is an in-person event too, which is weird. But they built a microscopic racetrack so guys can go head to head to see who's got the fastest swimmers. Their track mimics the dynamics of a woman's reproductive system, right?
Okay.
So there might not be an actual egg involved, but as far as the track, it's going to probably be think not Indy 500, but more like what is F1 racing.
Okay. Yeah.
Lots of turns and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. All right. And they say that the point is to bring attention to fertility and turn health into a competition because it's something that you can train for just like any other sport.
Of course.
So, yeah. Silver lining, guys.
I want to know the screening at a time. Like what, no performance enhancing drugs in them?
Yeah, no.
Aside from magnesium and zinc.
Right.
You know?
Testosterone for sure.
Right.
Yeah. They say it's all about making male fertility something people actually want to talk about, track, and improve. And they say that the new league will have everything other sports have, including press conferences, weigh-ins, right? Like you're going to put your boys on a scale. This is like pre-fight weight.
I know.
And then play-by-play commentary and, of course, betting. Yes, there will be betting.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be able to pick your favorites and bet on winners. The first race will feature competitors from UCLA and USC. So it's a real crosstown rivalry, right? And they'll eventually hope to get celebrities involved.
Of course.
Yes.
Why
And
not?
They say like an early favorite is Nick Cannon.
Proven track record.
Yeah, dude.
I do want to see the post swim interview though with the guy that's like the winner. Just
Yeah.
all sweaty, laid back with a sandwich and a towel on his face. Tough race, man.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Megan Fox for the inspiration. Yeah,
Lord.
this is the world that we live in, dude. So sperm racing might be the next big sport. So shut up and take my money. And also, how can I get involved? Because I feel like, I got a girl pregnant not too long ago. Yeah. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, now this is before the whole Roe v. Wade thing was overturned. So, yeah. But that's a whole nother discussion for another time. But still, my race won, unfortunately.
Your first sperm raised bet, code word beef, 20% off.
And that was a 1-1, dude. I called my shot. This wasn't an accident. This was me saying, let's do this. Boom. All right, done. That's it. Yeah, I know.
Not even trying.
It was impressive, dude.
Wow.
I called it like Kobe. I was like, it's a boy, Kobe.
I'll put my money on you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, get me involved, coach. Put me in, coach.
Put me
I'm
in,
ready.
coach.
I've been training my whole life for this.
I've been waiting for this.
Let's hit the reset. When we come back, we got those wristbands for the Pima County Fair that we're going to give away. Plus, we have a whole lot more show to get to. Stick around. Plus, Mario will be joining us. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA.
Crazy.
Sperm
racing.
What were
Who'da
you
thunk
saying
it?
there? Or you don't want to say it now?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Something about cadavers.
Something about cadavers. You want to do some would you rathers real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, my good friend Mari, she loves to give me hypotheticals for any which way. My good friend Mari likes to give me hypothetical situations that we must weigh in on. Another round of would you rather. So, Mari, what are some weird would you rathers you came up with today?
Would you rather have your arms switch places with your ears or your nose switch places with your belly button?
Oh, well, I think that's kind of easy. I think I've seen video game characters that have had arms in their ears. So, like, if I had my arms where my ears are, right? That's a fantastic self-defense. I would be a professional fighter. I would be the UFC champion in any weight that I enter, right? Boxing for sure. I'm protecting my face at all times, got my arms right there, and then my reach is going to be better.
Nice.
If I have my nose where my belly button is, I would know what the smell of my D is. That's, I'm assuming is okay most days, but some days you don't want to smell it, right? So definitely ears.
You would have to be on top of your regiment, like big time.
Well, yeah, and I am, Thank you for asking.
Right. Just checking.
Yeah, I got body wash provided by The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
But see, I don't like the theory about your arms being on your ears, and because your head would be turning every way you fight, so you can't see what's going on.
Well, look, not too many people are going to fight you if you have arms where your ears are.
You don't think so?
No, I think they would stand down immediately. Like
Stand down immediately.
Yeah, it's like they know. You know, if you see a guy, like a monster of a guy, you're not thinking to yourself, "I'm gonna pick a fight with that guy," unless you're a lunatic. You know, most people are gonna be like, "Hey, see the guy with the arms with his ears? Don't look his way twice." You know,
I'm gonna mess that guy up. He's like, don't mess with ear man arms.
right?
We'll destroy you.
So yeah, no. And again, the nose where the belly button is, I don't think that's a great place for many reasons, right?
A belly button nose would be kind of cute. You know, your belly button's right there.
Oh, so you want your belly button to be where your face is? No, I've seen.
They switch places.
No, I've seen people who've done way too many drugs and their nose is completely much gone, and it's like a belly button nose. They look like Skeletor.
True.
That ain't cool.
I was gonna say the guy from Fallout made it cool again.
I
So
guess.
maybe.
Yeah. Well,
I'll be
and that's
into it.
Walter Goggins.
Yeah,
and
he's hot right now.
No, speaking of which, because he's in White Lotus and he has like a receding hairline. So now what they're saying is, and this is what the internet is saying, is that men's receding hairlines are now in. And I'm like, thank God.
Or last summer, wasn't
Wow.
it the rat guy, the rat looking people? Like from they took the guy from the bear. And like, yeah, the guys that look like offbeat and like rat like.
yeah.
That's the new hotness. Now
Yeah.
like receding airlines are in.
Yeah, no,
Can't make up
I'm
their
just
minds.
hoping it's true, right? Because I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I could be sexy again. All right, Mari, give me another. Would you rather?
All right. Would you rather meet an alien species that is physically horrifying but deeply compassionate,
Okay,
or one that looks human but feels nada?
I'm pretty sure I've met ones that are human but feel nada, and I
Yeah.
feel like they have a lot of like powerful positions. You know, the lizard kings. So yes, show me the ugly aliens that have empathy all day long, and I would hug an ugly alien so hard.
Right.
Yes, it'd be like,
Aw.
yes, it's okay. Welcome to ugly Earth. Most of us are ugly here too.
It's like
Yeah,
the
you
aliens from District 9. Like those
Oh
ones.
yeah, but they were mean. Those are killers. Were they?
I thought they were good. That's the whole point of the movie. They were,
I'd
like,
have to
nice.
watch it again. You know, it wasn't that great. But yeah, so yeah, empathetic, ugly aliens for sure,
Nice.
Mhm.
all day long. All right, give me one more. Would you rather?
All right,
Mari?
last one. Would you rather find out your entire life is a simulation about to be shut down,
Oh my God.
or that you're the only real person and everyone else is a scripted illusion?
See,
A lot of people feel like that already too.
I know, dude. Everyone wants
Solipsism.
to not be an NPC, and you're about to give me an existential crisis just thinking about this.
All right.
You know, there's a lot of strong theories about this being all a simulation.
Right.
And if that's the
Mhm.
case, just continue to believe in yourself, and who knows what you might simulate for yourself. Pretty soon, we'll all have simulated romantic relationships as well. And a lot of us can, be in love with a couple tens. I know that I'm working on my Megan Fox AI right now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's still not there. Still kind of looks like Machine Gun Kelly, but I'll get
Little
there.
tweaks.
You
Yeah.
will.
Tweaks.
And when I do get there, don't hit me up to hang out on Friday or Saturday night because I'll be busy. All right, so would you rather's here. Basically, would you rather is just a good opportunity to remind people what a creep I am.
Simulations and sex robots. Yeah.
We did it. We did it, everybody. Let's get on the air here. All right. 12 seconds. Oh, there's Uber Lost and Found. Probably seen this before. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. That's Evanescence will bring me to life. Let me ask you this question. Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 recently made some pretty bold statements. Did you see this?
He's the UFO one, right?
no.
That's Tom DeLonge.
Okay.
So Mark is the one who suffered from cancer,
Yeah.
was able to overcome it, and we're so happy about that.
Totally.
All right, but he recently wrote a book, and in it he is kind of taking claim for the U.S.'s ability to capture Saddam Hussein back in 2000.
Oh, he is? 'Cause
3,
I also
4?
heard about the Melissa, the Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Remember her?
Yeah.
He went on a
Yeah.
date with her. That's in his book, too.
Okay, so let me talk about mine, and then you tell me about yours.
Both sound crazy.
Yeah, so this is the time whenever you release like a tell-all biopic, you're gonna get some juicy stuff. Or at least you
Yeah.
hope, right? So Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 is the latest. He wrote a new memoir called Fahrenheit 182.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
which is kind of a play of Fahrenheit 9/11. And this is his story. He said that when Blink-182 was on an aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf because they were gonna go play some shows in the region, a la Saudi Prince money shows, right? These are the type of shows that major artists don't talk about.
Yeah.
They're the ones that they get paid millions of dollars to do private events
Right.
for people that have blood money, right? So they're kind of selling out. So he was doing one of these shows with Blink-182 back in 2003. And when he was flying over the region, he told a Navy admiral that he had a plan to catch Saddam Hussein. Now, at the time, if you recall, Saddam Hussein was on the run. He was America's most wanted. Basically, the W. Bush era was like, we really want Osama bin Laden, but we'll get him later. Let's go after Saddam Hussein, who had technically nothing to do with 9/11, assumedly, right? We just had some unfinished business with Saddam. So he was hiding in a bunker. While he was hiding in a bunker, he was basically FaceTiming with the people of Saudi Arabia, Iraq, I mean. And when he was doing that, these videos were going out. So Mark Hoppus told the Navy pilot that, the admiral, I should say, he's like, what about having like drones fly all over the region and carpeting patterns, broadcasting time codes above the level of human hearing, but at the level that a video recording would catch it. That was Mark Hoppus's idea they threw out there. Then he said the next time he releases one of the videos, you could listen to it, pull the ultrasonic data, and triangulate the drones that you have flying all over. This is what punk pop icon Mark Hoppus told this Navy admiral. Now, you know, I'm sure this admiral is flying the plane thinking, okay, Blink-182, dude. Yeah, sounds like a great plan. But Mark Hoppus told him in the book that the admiral said that he might mention that to his higher ups. Right?
Yeah. Sure, kid.
Yeah, but then 4 months later, Saddam Hussein got yanked out of his hidey hole. 4 months later, mind you. Now, Mark then closes the story by saying, so you're welcome, everyone. So taking the dub.
Claiming the idea.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, I came up with this idea, and then 4 months later, inevitably, the CIA probably listened to my idea, and then they found him in 4 months.
They'll never admit it.
Yeah, and so that was pretty bold.
Whoa.
Do you believe that was how we caught Saddam Hussein?
Yeah.
Partially.
I mean, you're just a Blink fan.
But I mean, that
so-
seems like such a general military operation where it's like, yeah, duh, we know to fly drones over and get reconnaissance, you know?
Right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, would you believe that like a pop punk rock star would be giving ideas to the Navy and our U.S. government that they might not have thought before, right? They're like, oh, I should have trusted the guy that was in his underwear in that music video this whole time.
I just hope Saddam Hussein was like, say it ain't so, I will not go.
Yeah.
When he came out of the cave.
That's
And
exactly what he said.
That's
a
where that
quote.
song came from.
That's where it came from. All right, what is the revelation that you came across from Mark Hoppus's book?
So you know Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Yes.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so they were at an award show. She saw him, thought he was cute.
For sure.
Got her publicist to reach out to his publicist
Mm-hmm.
and arrange a date.
Okay.
They went on a date.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was very boring.
Yeah.
That she just was really into acting. He would ask her what her favorite food is. She's like, whatever they feed me on set. And it was just acting. They didn't talk to each other ever again. But right afterwards, he met his wife that night on a phone call because she worked for MTV. And then she ended up meeting another little rock star guy. And they're both happily married to this day to those people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I thought you were going to say, was it Melissa Joan Hart? Is that the actress?
Yeah, Melissa Joan Hart.
I thought she was telling him about like military operations, and she's like, we should really use drones over.
You
took the idea from
You're
her.
my soulmate, Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Sabrina or Melissa Joan Hart's like, actually, I talked to a Navy admiral,
guy.
and I was like, why don't you just use black magic to coerce him out of that hole?
Right.
Yeah.
Manifest it.
Yeah. Your beef tips coming up after music from Blink-182. Stick around. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA.
She has a book that comes out about her claiming she told Tom. Or
Yeah.
She's like,
that's too funny.
Never ends.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that movie? Remember, like, what is it? I'm looking it up. Argo, the 2012 Ben Affleck movie. Was
Yes.
like a bunch of like
Fantastic movie.
Hollywood producers that went over and saved American hostages.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, it's not in the realm of belief, I guess.
Yeah, no.
Blink-182 stopping Middle East wars.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see. What do we get to today? I'm getting messages from people like my old friend Brandy.
Mhm.
Again, people just read headlines. They don't read the story involved. So me coming back to KWSS is doing that. Tucson and Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I thought you were going up there physically.
That's so funny that you thought that too, because I've been talking to you about this for months.
No, not this though.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of been the game plan. Honestly, it was the game plan from the beginning. Yeah, it's my old station.
Yeah, but I didn't know this was in the works.
Oh yeah, well,
So surprise!
Yeah, so it is. But Brandy messaged me and she's like, "Hiya, Beef. I would love." This is how she sounds. I would love to be part of your new show here in Phoenix. I work overnight shift weekend, available during the week. And Brandy, I love her immensely, but and I have to give her the bad news that I'm not going up there.
Yes.
And so that's just not how.
Just keep sending her a link to the article until she reads it.
Yeah,
it's like,
well, I haven't read it, but maybe.
You should read it.
I did read it. No, I did. And I thought it was just Mondays, and I thought you were physically driving up there.
It's a good bathroom read.
Yeah.
I was sick. Maybe I didn't.
There is no physically. So I did the show out of my house for 8 years.
But you were in Phoenix.
Well, that's because I lived in Phoenix, but I did the show out of my house.
I took a comedian there one time. That was the first time in your house. I remember going like, "This guy's doing the thing."
Yeah. And this was before podcasts. Which was crazy too, because podcasts were starting up, right? But every single one of these comedians, after they'd hang out for a little bit, would ask me about my setup and how to basically podcast. And so I would give them little tips and tricks, and then fast forward, every single one of those fuckers got a podcast now. And of course, with millions of views, because it does help when you're a famous, hilarious comedian with resources and whatnot. So, so many people are just like, why don't you just start a podcast? And be like, bitch, I've been doing podcasts. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
This is where I'm making money because I'm a broadcaster. And that's the business. But if it was as easy as just everyone start a podcast and become a millionaire, then everyone would be a millionaire. Even though everyone has a podcast, everyone, it really does. And so, but I mean, I'll listen to every podcast I come across just to see what they got. There's some good ones out there, and there's just a lot of trash where it's just like you wouldn't last 5 minutes on the radio there, and like your interviews and your podcast isn't that good either.
And it generally takes so much tenacity and dedication, because they say like more than 90% give up after episode 10 maybe.
Yes.
You got to go for a full 2 years to get any sort of traction.
Yes, dude. Well, and that's what people don't understand too. It's the long game and the persistence and stuff. I try to tell that to people that we know in our circle, for people who just constantly fail at things and always trying something else. It's like, that's a great idea. Keep doing it.
Right.
Don't just do it once and then stop.
Like nobody's listening. Well, duh.
Right.
Keep at it.
So the reason why there's even kind of there's excitement, there's love there and everything is because I started on this show. I was doing this show and I just didn't stop. And I have that $100 bill story I've told before, which is a true story, is that, I started hosting my show on 420 in 2009, right? It was actually 420, so I wouldn't forget. I did it for an entire year, every single day. Didn't take any days off. Every holidays, Monday through Friday, I was doing the show. Todd was there. He knows. And so I, did the show. Then after an entire year, full year, around 8 o'clock, which is called the magic hour of radio. That's when the most amount of people are listening, because a lot of people work 9 to 5s. Okay. So I went on the air and I said, here's the deal. I have a $100 bill, $100 cash money, crisp, brand new $100 bill, that I will give out to the first person who calls this phone number, right? And not only will I give you this $100, I will drive to you and personally deliver you this $100 bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 8:15 in the morning. I give out the phone number. I say, take this. Nobody calls. I've been doing this show every single day for an entire year, hoping that we're getting better and growing an audience, and I have literally 0 listeners. Right. And I know this, and my show doesn't end till 10 a.m. And at that moment, I had to make a decision, and that was go back to bed because I'm in my fucking living room. Right. And be like, I tried, or finish the show and try to be better. Right. Do the next segment, try to make the next segment better, and so on and so forth. Right. That was my fork in the road, and I finished the show. And that's why I'm here now, and there are people who attempted to do what I'm doing who aren't here because they didn't finish the show.
Did you keep the $100?
Yeah. I mean, that was the positive part of the story.
I went to be a pizza rolls and I took a nap after that.
Yeah, dude. Right? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I kept the $100, and plus, it would have financially ruined me if anybody called.
It worked out.
Yeah, I don't have that money, dude. So, yeah, and then so when they announced that I'm coming back to KBSS as a labor of love, and then people reacted the way that they did, then it felt good. I'm like, all right, good, and so
validating.
Yeah, and we're coming back and expanding the show because we're doing what I was doing up in Phoenix, that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And having a lot of fun with it. We got this great crew. And now we're running it back to Phoenix to finish the show.
You interviewed Roddy Piper, dude.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and he was amazing.
Yeah, that
And,
was cool.
Yeah, Todd was there for that. And that was a bucket list moment.
Hell yeah.
To be able to have a 2-hour long conversation with Roddy. And to, like really like that was just one of those role models. The same week I had Tom Green on, and then
That was the
Bob
same
Levy.
week?
Same fucking week, dude.
Legendary.
WrestleMania week.
Yeah.
And then Tom Green then went on the show. I talked to Tom a couple times and looking forward to talking to him again.
And that was pre him doing that too, or was that sort of the time?
No, Tom Green, he was doing his
His
no,
home
he
studio
just
thing?
finished the show.
Okay.
His internet show.
Yeah.
Because people kept calling in and saying the N-word. So he was
God.
over
It's
it.
like, all right, enough.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap things up. All right, Rock 102.1 KFMA. That is all the time that we have for the show, but we'd like to thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/beefvegan. Tomorrow morning, we'll run it back, do it all over again, and give out those wristbands as far as your beef tip. Unfortunately, we don't have the time. But tomorrow, we'll give you a fat beef tip. Till then, Robin
Double
Ass is up
special.
next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side of beef, soon will come an end to all your grief.
All right,
But
Roddy Piper.
if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.
$100 bill, y'all.